Everyone, so Umami Bioworks, they are a portfolio company of Cult Food Science, and they have just announced their first factory to be based in Malaysia. They are building really the production systems for cell cultivated fish, and they are also working on a couple different cell lines. So their goal is to really partner with fish companies, seafood companies to produce fish using cell culture. First factory is in partnership with a company in Malaysia, and of course they want to announce a lot of other factories around the world. They are also working with Cult Food Science to launch their first pet food coming to Singapore next year. Let's check out the announcement.
And so at Umami, what we focus on is making manufacturing tech solutions. So there's over 150 alternative complementary protein companies in the world today. But we think the fastest way to change the system is to change it from within and convince traditional meat and seafood companies to adopt our way of thinking about production and to see the benefits of production via cultivation. And so what we do is basically systems design. So we develop an end-to-end manufacturing system that can be plug and play for a traditional producer. And then we partner with companies like Cell Agritech to put that manufacturing locally so that the transportation footprint of the food is significantly reduced and the food is made fresh close to you as opposed to being fish caught somewhere in the deep Pacific, coming to Tokyo, and then being air flown to KL or being air flown to Penang. And I think one of the key questions people ask when maybe confronted with the idea of complementary protein for the first time is, can it actually be food that I want to eat? Or am I having to give something up to make this change for the planet? And our goal is that this is the best seafood you can get anywhere in the world, cultivated or otherwise. And so we can do things like tailor the nutritional value, the omega-3s, and the texture and nutritional profile, so we can make it the ideal product for different consumer groups. But more importantly, we can make sure it's free from contaminants. So we produce in steel tanks, so there's no microplastics exposure. We use filtered water, so there's no heavy metals exposure. And these are big problems in seafood today that we can solve with cultivation. And just to give you a sense of where cultivated fish can be used in the market, and then I'll pass over to Jason. So there's a few very big markets in seafood. Tuna is probably the one everyone knows. Tuna is about a third of the global seafood industry by itself as a category. The second category is whitefish. And this is grouper, snapper, cod, halibut, whole range of species, but it's the most versatile product. If you're eating your battered fish or you're eating a fish curry, it's most often a whitefish. And then we're working on a species called eel, or in Japan known as unagi, because it's iconic. It's a very famous and beloved species in Japan and Korea, and it's critically endangered worldwide and will be extinct in the next 20 years unless we find new ways to produce it. And maybe counterintuitively, maybe you don't know, about 15% of all the fish we catch out of the oceans goes to feed animals. So we actually think opportunities like companion animals, pets, is a really significant opportunity because right now, 90% of the fish being fed to cats is human grade. So we're feeding enough fish to feed 1 billion more people to cats at human grade. And I think that's something that cultivated can solve very well and make people also, again, not feel like they're giving up something, or their cat isn't giving something up, but we also increase the seafood supply for people. So, Jason. Oh, sure.
Thank you, Michiel. So I think after the Michiel presentations, everyone have some idea about cultivated seafood or meat. Basically, we grow the meat from a stem cell or from the cell in the bioreactor. So a lot of benefit and advantage of cultivated meat to environment, to people, to even our national healthcare system. So the collaborations between Umami Bioworks and Cell Agritech is to expedite, to accelerate, to scale up the cultivated seafood in Southeast Asia Pacific. So our first center of excellence will be in Penang, Malaysia. So estimate to be ready in Q1 next year, and followed by Umami Bioworks Tech Center in Singapore, Q4 next year. We also going to have our manufacturing facility mainly for cultivated seafood, meat, food products ready in Q1 2025. So this is our collaboration to expedite, to reduce the waste, to use both our expertise, how we can make this happen, make the meat to serve affordable to everyone. So this is our center of excellence. We're going to set, this is our center of excellence in Penang, Malaysia. So like I said, it will be ready in March next year, just 3 months from now. So in this center of excellence, we will also set up the pilot facility, pilot plant, and also offer the incubator hubs for our collaborative partners, such as Umami Bioworks. We also have like academia institutions such as Taylor University to set up their culinology center in our center. Then we have the bioreactor, our major equipment supplier, then ingredient supplier and food companies to do the R&D together with us, to grow together, to make it happen. This is our manufacturing facility that going to start the productions in Q1 2025. The locations will be in Kedah, Malaysia, and the land size is 3.3 acres. We built an area of 96,000 square foot, and for this building, it is designed to produce 3,000 tons of cultivated fruit annually. And this building also incorporate with numerous green initiatives, such as the solar panel. You can see that the black color, we try to replace our window with solar panel. Of course, a lot of green initiative to be incorporated in this building. Okay, I pass back to Misha. Yeah.
Thanks, Jason. And I think this is really exciting for us because it's the first project that we're launching with a commercial partner. But the goal is not to stop at one factory in the north of Malaysia. Our goal is to partner to expand and put factories near every major city and population center that has significant demand for fish. And so we are actively working with a number of partners in Japan, in Korea, in the United States, and hope to be filling out some additional capacity soon so that we can start bringing more than 1% of global seafood. And to give you a sense, 3,000 tons sounds like a lot, and I can tell you as somebody who works in cell culture, that is a crazy number to be talking about right now. But 3,000 tons is a fraction of a percent of global seafood. We produce 200 million tons of fish a year. So one factory won't do the job. And I think the message is we need to figure out, as an industry, how we take one factory and replicate it and build 500 around the world so that we can make a meaningful dent in the next 10 years before many of these species go extinct and before we start having localized food insecurity issues because of climate change. So that's really what we're aiming for.
Thanks again for watching. We'll catch you in the next video.